seeing like everybody that I lent a hand to on the way of starting their detail journey to kind of make it.
Hmm.
I mean, that's you, Brian.
And they were hoping that Rodney would beat me up. Um, Fortunately for myself and fortunately for Rodney, that we didn't have to go through that. Ciao, ragazzi. Welcome to Arte Automobilistica. You know, Mia, she jumps in and out. She'll probably run in here at some point. But I wanted to get together with this man right here. Now, he is not a well known name in the industry, but he is well known to me and to others who I hold very dear. Uh, Sir, could you please introduce yourself and tell everybody yourself?
I'm Rodney. I've known Ken for a good little while. I've been detailing for 20 plus years.
So,
So,
Rodney is a very special character. Um, I think back about all the times that I've worked with him and, learned from him and done a lot of things. But one of the things that brings me back, I was telling my daughter about yesterday, was one of the very first time I met Rodney. I worked in, for lack of better terms, a wash bay with some poorly moral people. And they were hoping that Rodney would beat me up. Um, Fortunately for myself and fortunately for Rodney, that we didn't have to go through that. From that day on, I noticed that your work ethic was different than other people I had worked with. What do you attribute uh, the way you work and how hard you work each and every day?
back in the early times when I had to actually work for my dad for free, and you get up at the crack of dawn, and whenever you finish, that's pretty much what it was. So same thing with I figured, hey, if you work hard, at least somebody will take like, oh, he did it, he's doing pretty good, and give you a little bit of a little bit of credit for it.
There was some people around who kind of knew what they were doing and they could do things. They were lazy, man, and like seeing somebody
Very
who
much.
and getting their hands dirty, it helped me a lot. Um, but one of the things that really helped me was you had a little bit more experience than me. Probably a lot more experience than me at the time. And as we progressed and things changed and environments
Hmm.
changed, you were doing what you were doing, and I was just trying to do what needed to be done as well. uh,
Yep.
we were just working, and I learned how to start detailing and all those things, and a lot of it I attribute to you. um, and then secretly I attribute to the fact that um, I'm a nerd, right? So everything
Yep.
that I do, I'm also a competitive nerd. So everything that I do, I want to be better than the next person. So you were better than me. I wasn't going to beat you based on my work. Like, we can both work hard and we can work all night. That's going to not make me better, but I'm going to have
No.
to go expand and learn other stuff so that I can, compete and have a different level of education. As somebody who is that hands on, you're doing all the work, your vehicle prep is amazing, you're doing all these things. Has education, the classes and clinics and trainings, has that played any impact in your life, your profession, your role, or is that something that is fun, but I mean, it doesn't really pay the bills? What have you found?
Well, in the beginning, I was like, oh, I know what I know, and I didn't want to really step and learn nothing different. But just like anything, you got to change up your way of thinking, and overall, like, what, I can learn something. And like you said, hey, I gave you the reins in the beginning, and you gave them back to me towards the end, and you showed me PPF and all this other stuff that, of course, I would have never probably have touched a day in my life, but it was something different.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, when you get in with a group of people and they help push you to improve and be better, I think that only makes a stronger group. So even though I moved, we were East Coast, we were VA,
Yeah.
we were Fredericksburg through and through, and I moved. I went out to California. I always
Mm,
knew that if I ever got the opportunity to do something bigger, um, you were the one person that I was going to try to come back for. And although things were good and we had fun
yeah.
for the last few years, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
corporations and things change, but
Hmm.
having you on my side in terms of, man, Rodney is a workhorse. Rodney will get it done. He is not afraid of work. He will never shy away from getting sweaty. Like that, in having that, like, as motivation, only can make everybody around stronger.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I learned this word actually recently from Brian, and Brian, we have all these great terms. We always say like, oh, this car washer, this recon guy. He broke it down even further and said like archetypes, right? So there's
Mm,
different archetypes when it comes to detailing. There's the car washers, there's the dealership guys, the OEM guys, the PPF guys. All these paint correction, ceramic guys, interior guys. They all
mm,
have a category, right? What
yeah.
is your strongest area in your eyes when it comes to detailing a car? Where do you feel like you shine?
Oh, that's definitely the prep, the vehicle prep and interior. In my personal, I believe, because like I told them, I said all that buffing is, that's cool and all, but you still got to get the inside the car clean. You still got, if you prep it right, you don't have to do a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
So,
There is one thing I will say when it comes down to it. Now, I strive to be the best in every category. At least
yeah.
be be good in every category. But there's these little areas where it's like, man, I've never seen anybody prep a car like Rodney. Like you're not going to have any little bits of dirt afterwards. You're going to get in all those tiny cracks and crevices. You'll get in there, and I learned very quickly working side by side with you that if the prep takes a little bit longer, that's okay, because it's going to make the
Mhm.
finishing work faster. It's going to give you less problems in the long run. So I will always say, and I will always, give it up, that you are the best at prep work. I've never seen anybody better, and I've worked with a lot of amazing people at this point.
Yeah. I try to do my best for what I know. But,
Well,
mm,
I think prep work is one of those things where you have to have an eye. You know where all the dirty areas of the vehicle are. You just have to be willing to put in that extra effort. And you
oh
have
yeah.
that, whereas not everybody does. Um, when it comes to the things you've done, and I'm talking for the entire course of your career, what
Mm,
is your proudest moment in detailing, not in life, because we all have our proud moments in life of things that we've done? Is there
yeah.
anything that you're actually proud of doing when it comes to detailing?
As far as I think that would be seeing like everybody that I lent a hand to on the way of starting their detail journey to kind of make it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's you, Brian, the whole everybody else along the way. Like just do better than I. Like I said, I was just a step up to what y'all are now.
It's almost like a proud parent, where like your whole goal as a
Exactly.
parent is to watch them do better than you.
Yeah, that's why I told everybody I'm not scared to like show somebody something I know because, like I told them, I can't keep doing it forever. But if you pass it on, the trickle effect.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I've my daughter, and you know Mia, she
oh
she's
yeah,
been she's been doing a lot lately, but I started her off on smaller machines. But now
mm,
she had a chance to meet Sarah, and you met Sarah, from Rupes and things like that.
oh yeah.
She's a rotary girl, and
Mm-hmm.
I I like the rotary. I know you love the rotary. You're over here with the old school DeWalt. But like
Oh yeah.
she's always been, it's a little too heavy for her, it's too big. But after she got to
Mm.
talking with Sarah, she's been practicing with it almost every day. Like she has fallen in love with the rotary. So are there any tips or tricks that you would suggest for her, other than just practicing?
That's pretty much it. I mean, that's a hard deal because you either can do it or you can't do it with a rotary. Which everybody, oh, it's so it's not that it's it's a job, especially
Yeah.
them old Marquitas and DeWalt's and them things weigh 10, 15 pounds. That's a lot.
Now,
And
I know you because you have larger appendages than most people. Your hands are massive. So when you hold a machine, you can almost like palm sand it. Um,
yeah.
whereas a lot of us, we actually like have to put it under the body and get that control and dance with it. And you just
Hmm.
have these massive hands where you can just take control of it without even any effort, which is not fair for everybody
No.
else, but it is what
You
it
know.
is. Um,
You know.
it's
Mm,
like you have an advantage, right? Like you're Jordan, you can just palm the ball and do all these things, and it's not as fair for other people.
yeah, you know. Well, I mean, but I'm good at maybe that, but y'all are good at the other things that I'm probably not good at. So
Well, I
I
mean,
get one win. I get one win.
even even things that you're not good at, that you've never had this attitude where like I'm just not going to try. Like you'll attempt it, you'll still try to pick it up, like PPF,
Okay.
right? You
Oh yeah.
struggled heavily when we first started playing with PPF.
Majorly.
How's your comfort with it now though? Like if you had to put on a pre-cut piece and take one off and put one on.
Towards the end, I got pretty decent at it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I was at 100, but I mean, I was a good 85.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I felt comfortable doing it. Not like, oh, I did it and then it felt like no, I felt pretty comfortable doing it. Put a couple pieces on, took them off like you said, and redid it. No problem.
Skills are cool, but they don't always
Mm,
translate to other areas of the country, right? We
yeah.
grew up in a very small area where the $30, $40 car wash guys, that's legit. But out here in
Yeah.
California, those are people who aren't going to make any money and they're going to be out of business soon because they're not, competing properly. Growing up and
Exactly.
living in the area that you live in, what is the average, detailer charging? Is it a livable wage, or are they cutting themselves, or are they shooting themselves in the foot just to make money each day?
Mm, pretty much shooting herself in the foot. Um, like I said, I've seen signs on the side of the road that said full detail for like $100, and I was like, there's no way in the world you can detail a car for $100. I mean, you can wash and vac a car for maybe that, or some windows and tire shine or whatever, but no, not
And
it's not. And I felt bad saying it because like uh once again, like Mario told me, he was like,
mm,
what California makes compared to. I was like, wow, we're struggling over on the East Coast.
yeah, because I mean, out here, you can find anybody. I mean, a decent guy is 150 for a wash, for a maintenance wash.
Oh wow.
And that's all they're doing. They might like vacuum the front carpets or something like that, but like you're not doing anything on the inside. It's really just maintaining, because a lot of those guys already have ceramic coatings on their cars, so
Ceramic
you're just
coating.
like you're doing like the maintenance on it and just making sure it's fresh. But I mean, people are doing those every 2 weeks for 150 a pop.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting nothing of that sort around here
Do you
at
think
all.
education for not just the detailers but the customers in the area is an impediment, like that makes things hard, or do you think people just don't care?
Well, one, they don't care mostly, because I mean, we got the people with the lifted trucks that just
Mm.
drive down through the woods, and if we do got some people with nicer cars, it's well, I can take it to like uh, Santa Fe or some like little, and for $80, they're gonna wash, vacuum, tire shine, windows. and they think that's pretty much a detail. Was it? I tell them that's kind of like a basic wash kind of deal, but
Yeah.
all you're doing is swirling the car up at the end, and if but they don't know what they're looking for, so turtle wax and a Craftman buffer. That's all they're good with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the things is realizing the longer I've been doing this, I've
Mm,
thought I thought in the early years people saw everything that I saw on the vehicle. Like they saw all the swirls, they saw all the scratches. And the longer I've been doing this, the more and more I realize people don't see anything. Like they don't see the
nothing.
problems with the car. Um, how without educating the market, like how can that even get across to the general public in your area? Like it's hard, right?
It's impossible. I mean, because like I said, I mean, you got the guys that ride around and just power wash cars on the lot for like
Mm,
$20 a car, and them in the same. Somebody see them doing that and be like, oh well, I can get them to wash my car off and dry it off and put some tire shine on myself, and that's pretty much it. That's what it is.
yeah,
And so
unfortunately.
it's yeah, so there's not a lot of drive to detail around here because I mean, what can you do to like? Oh man, I can buff that and get them scratches out. Well, I'm driving a '89 Ford Taurus, or I don't really
Yeah.
care. It's
I
so that's
have
what we're stuck
noticed,
with.
being out here, a lot of people they get rid of their car every 2 to 3 years out here. Whereas
Yeah,
in Virginia, like where we grew up, like people ride their car till the wheels fall off. Like you don't just get rid
literally.
of a car. Like you wait
No.
until that 500,000 miles, 600,000 miles, it's not gonna drive
Hmm.
anymore. Oh, let me change the engine. I'll get another couple 100,000 miles out of it. And I've seen people with 1 million mile cars in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I think that has a lot to do with it. But also, when I was there weren't any like really big detail shops. There was a couple small ones, but like
Hmm.
also education. There's no like training centers for detail like
None.
in the whole area, right?
Not at all. Yep.
Like I
I
remember
mean, we
you
just finally
said,
got a.
go ahead.
Oh no, I said we just recently got that. Was it detail something, detail world or something
Mm.
that just opened up around here? And I mean, they have like what cars and coffee or something every once in a blue moon. But
Yeah.
I went, I went there and met the guys, and then when I tell them, oh yeah, yeah, I'm kind of, they look at me kind of funny, and I was like, no, I'm IDA certified, and da da
Mm.
da, and they, well, I said, well, how are y'all teaching classes then if you have like less education than I got? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
and you know, they're charging people 200-300 bucks, but you're giving them like nothing to work with.
Yeah. What was it? So
Uh,
for their that's like their introductory class then too, right? Like
yeah,
this is how
yeah,
you wash a car and this is how like basically the basics of everything.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, we've been around and we've done a lot over the years. Everything. I feel like we've done it all. What is the what is your least favorite type of vehicle to detail? Because I have mine, but what is your least favorite? Like, if this vehicle comes, like I know you'll do it because you don't turn down work. But
No.
if somebody pulls up in this car, in the back of your mind, you're like, man, I don't want to do this car, but you'll do it because I know how you work. But what car to you is that car? Like, I do not want to do this car.
Um, in any kind of Lamborghini, in general, any kind of Ferrari. Uh, Now, anything else, I don't mind, but them, they're too low. You got to do all it. That's a lot of work.
I get it. I get it. I will say that the benefit of doing a vehicle like that is the people who own them usually do not get
Mm,
the insides very dirty. So
No, they don't.
There's not much you have to do on the inside. You tornador it, blow everything to the front, and then do a quick vacuum and a wipe down, and you're pretty much
Mm.
done on the insides, unless it gets those like sticky Ferrari buttons. Um, but
Mm.
other than that, like, which is funny, and that just has to do with size, because you are, I mean, you're not a small guy. You're much bigger than me, but it's
Yeah.
one of those things where like I see, like in my early days, I hated doing vans, like the stow and go town and countries.
Hmm.
Hated them. Um, Now I hate G wagons. I don't want to do a G wagon. I just hate the outside. I hate the inside. I just hate the whole car. I don't even want to touch it. But it's one of those things like size. I never thought about like size, like, oh, getting in and out of this car, because I've done some Lamborghinis, like especially like older Countaches. Like even for me,
Mm.
like those suck to get in because you have to like
Yeah.
fall in, like, yeah.
Fall in
So
the car. Hmm.
yeah, don't nobody want to do that.
No. No.
Hmm.
At all.
But I
No.
know you are a car person and you actually do love cars. So has there
Oh
ever
yeah.
been a car that you've done where you're like, man, I like this? Like this
Oh
is
man.
like, where you were like, man, I've really enjoyed doing this car just because of what the car was.
Actually, it was. Um. It was an '88 box Chevy.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
What
Very,
color?
very
What?
nice.
Tell me a little bit about it.
It was candy. It was a candy green.
Mm,
Um. Real pretty car. 24s on it, lifted. Stereo, TVs, the works.
mm,
Um. Yeah. Like I said, and he wanted the underneath the hood done. The inside the car, outside, under the car. But when I was finished, it was like, okay, that, you know, when he looked at it and said, "That's clean,"
yeah.
that's when I was like, well, okay, that's because for yourself, we didn't clean cars that were destroyed, and they kind of just like,
It's good
like I
enough.
didn't worked on this thing for 7 hours, and that's all you give me? Like,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
When I think about cars like that and cars that are exciting, and that you
Mm,
yourself, because you're a car person, so for you to see a car and you're like,
mm.
man, I like that. Um,
Oh yeah,
that's exciting because me, on the other hand, I'm not a big car person. Um,
no,
I'm
yeah,
more into it now than I used to be, so there's a little bit of credit there, I guess. But for
okay,
the longest
better.
time, I didn't care at all. Right? Cars
I
were
know.
just transportation. Um,
Did-
like, but I remember one time I was doing a car and you had drove it and you were like, oh, that car's nice. And then all I did was move it like into the bay, and
oh
it was
yeah,
squirrely. So this was I don't know if you remember, but it was a Roadrunner, right? And
yeah,
it
yep.
like,
68.
and the wheels, like I had my foot on the brake and it was still like getting it, and you were getting all happy and excited, and I was like, man, I'll never want to drive
Mm-hmm.
that car again. Like that car scared the death out of me, and I was like, nah, I'm done with this. But the car was beautiful, but it was one of those cars
Oh
where like
yeah,
you got excited from the
yeah.
power and the actual like beauty of the car, and I was just like, I want to knock this car out, I want to be done with it and get it out of here, and I don't ever want to see it again.
See, yeah, that was a nice car. I wish I could afford one, but
Right?
I'll get one eventually.
One day, one day.
Yeah.
I think about some of the cars that I've done now, and like, not everybody thinks about like the value of cars and like, oh, this multi-million dollar car is amazing or anything like this. And
Mm-hmm.
I always forget how jaded I've become when it comes to like value of cars, because at this point I've done, million ridiculous number of
Yeah.
cars, right? And
Oh yeah.
I was putting PPF on a Wyra, like a Pagani Wyra, which is like, like
Mm-hmm.
multi-million dollar car. And
Yeah.
somebody was asking me about it, and I was like, oh yeah. And they're like, there's only like 29 of those. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, that's a $5 million car. And I was like, yeah.
Mm.
But I had no answer. So I think back to like some of the cars that we've done. Are
Yeah,
there cars out there where you're like, man, that was an expensive car I worked on? Do you ever think about that?
some of them like
Yeah.
that. What was that? What was that? The one that Mercedes we done a long time ago.
38?
38. Yep.
Yeah, the one that
I
Bob kept driving around.
kept driving around. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that
cars
was in
like
that.
that. I was like, nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the time, and what is it, 1.15 or something? The value
Yeah,
on
I mean,
that back then.
which is, I mean, that's that's just ridiculous. Especially since like
Mhm.
most of it was like fully stock, like the
Yeah.
original parts and everything, and like VIN and numbered and all that. So like when you get into vehicles like that, like that's pretty impressive because I'm
Yeah.
more of a stock person anyway. Like the aftermarket stuff is not really my
Hmm.
forte. Whereas my wife loves all that, stuff, and you like that stuff, and even like
Yeah. She
Mario,
got
and
good
like
taste.
everybody likes all this.
Mar-
I
of
mean,
course, Mario
I
got
get
great taste. 818, great taste.
he's he's and I think about all the things we've done, like Mario's a great detailer, right, in his own right, and
Yeah.
he's a great person to work with. Always
Yeah.
enjoyed his company and working together, but it's one of these things where like I think about my Mount Rushmore. And I've
Hmm.
asked several people of this, like, if you could only work with four people on a car, who are the four people you would choose, kind of thing. And
Hmm.
when we've been around and we think about it, you can pick anybody. You can pick these famous people. You can pick these awesome people. My first pick always is you. Um, and I've worked with incredible people, talented, super talented people who are famous.
Hmm.
Like people
Yeah.
know who they are. Nobody knows who Rodney is, and I will put
No.
Rodney on my team over any of them. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, but they've never been in the fire with me. Like I've been there until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, banging out cars,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we still going, we still moving. So who would be your four people if you could pick anybody
Hmm.
in the world, anybody that you've ever worked with, anybody who you would ever want to work with? You get to pick four people. You can hurt feelings, you can not hurt feelings. None of it matters. It's just for fun.
Oh, I mean, oh yeah. I wouldn't really care if I did or not. I mean, they know that's how I am. But my four, I mean, because I mean, I have to pick. I hate to say it, but I mean, most of the people I did, kind of get their foot in the doorway. But I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say you, Brian, Mario, and what's that? This gonna sound crazy. Delvin.
Oh, he was a worker though. He was good. He was
That's
just,
right. He worked. I mean,
yeah,
he had to go. He had to go. But I mean, while he was working, he worked,
yeah. And he
and
picked
that's
up stuff
that's my main
quickly.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
He
I
was
mean,
good.
he was. I mean, he just like I said, when he had to go, he had to go. But when he was there, he worked, and it was all business. You know,
He was.
and
He wasn't one
yeah,
for playing around and talking. He wanted
mm-mm,
to listen to his music and get stuff done.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, and like you said, Mario's talented. He's good at
Mm-hmm.
what he does, and he likes doing what he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to do a little bit of everything, and plus, you got all the other answers that none of the rest of us can pronounce the names and stuff. So you got to have that kind of person there. And then you got Mister Brian.
Oh, Mr. I do the paint, right?
I do the paint. If you don't have I do the paint, then what do you got? You
Oh.
know. So, but I mean,
So yeah, I like it. I mean, I love Brian, obviously. I love Mario. Um,
yeah.
I've never actually done my like full Mount Rushmore. Mine
Hmm.
starts and ends with you. Um, and I know this is kind of like I'm fawning and I'm like, oh man, Rodney's the greatest thing ever. But to me, Rodney is. So for everybody who's watching, like, man, Ken's crazy. Nah, like Rodney's that guy. He has been influential on my entire career, and not just in detailing. I'm proud to say that Rodney is my friend inside and outside of the world of detailing. So there are good people in the world, and there's good people in detailing, and once you find somebody who pushes you to be better in every way, I feel like that's entirely the type of people you want to surround yourself with. So Rodney, I want you to know that no matter what and everything that we've always been through, like you've been an inspiration. And
I
it's
try.
kind of like that parent thing. Like I never want to let you down. So I want you to
Yeah.
see that we're still going strong and everything is growing.
Oh yeah, that's always a plus. I mean, last time I seen Brian, he was like, "I'm still there." I said, "Hey, as long as you still doing the paint, that's all that matters."
Yeah.
So you still hanging in there, and life is still going pretty good for him. So that's good. And I see Mario doing big things on his end. And
Hmm.
so yeah, and then like I told everybody else, I said as far as like us teaching classes and like I told them, I said I've been dropping knowledge on people from day one till now. I said,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I can help, I don't mind helping. If I can show you something, I don't mind. I said, you might not like the technique, but it gets the work done.
It gets the
So,
work done, and I mean it's one of those things where even though there's still some old school stuff, right? It
hmm
works. Just because it's old and doesn't mean it's not effective. Like paint
exactly.
transfer or something. Rodney, what's the
Mm.
first thing you're grabbing if you got some paint transfer?
Gas.
Gas.
Got to
And
get
it
your gas.
works. It
hmm
works.
Yeah.
Dangerous as all
Y'all
hell.
thought, hey, y'all thought I was crazy when I did it, but I told you, I said, watch. Yeah.
But it,
And
it it truly does work, and it's one of these things where as I'm teaching new generations, like I want them to know about the old school tricks. Sure, there's
yeah.
safer ways to do things,
Oh
but
yeah.
if you've tried everything and you nothing's working, why don't you try one of these old tricks? It's worth a try.
It's worth it. It can't hurt at that point.
I mean, yeah, if you've tried everything else, you've already pretty much messed up everything. Throw, throw some gas on it, right?
Throw some gas, and if you're not scared, do like I used to, take my hand and rub it in, and
Hmm. Our hands, though, that's something safety. When we
yeah.
started, safety was not a real word.
No,
I don't remember wearing gloves at all for years.
no, for nothing.
And now like we preach to people to do that because I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
you pick up microfibers without like crunching your hand. Your hands are just
Yeah.
so messed up. They attach to your hand.
Yeah. They still the same effect.
But it's one of those
Mm,
things like how do we like there is a place in the world for safety. There's a place in the world for everything
yeah.
that we've done. I mean, we just have to find that balancing point. Like my daughter, she likes to wear the anti-vibration gloves now when she's polishing. I
hmm
think she just likes them because they look cool. But
Yeah.
she sees me polishing and I don't wear gloves, and she's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
don't need gloves," so she'll pick it up too.
Yeah. But
Um.
we don't want her to have bad hands like Brian though,
Oh
because
yeah, yeah,
Brian went through a spell with them hands. So
yeah. I mean,
uh,
Brian got some interesting training because I always like to say like he got training from the best of both worlds, right? I gave him an intro to the friendly side of detailing, the high end show car where it's not as much work as everybody thinks it is. You're going to put a lot of work in on the paint, but then
yeah.
everything else is usually pretty dialed in. Like it's pretty nice. The cars are not even that dirty to begin with. And then you were like, "Hey, now that Ken taught you all that BS, here's the real world and here's how you're actually going to make money." And I think it was a shock for him because he was like, "Oh, I like what Ken does, but I don't make no money this way. I like making the money that Rodney makes, but my body hurts now." So
Very true.
you know, he you know, we talk at times and it's like I remember you would line up multiple cars and you
Mm-hmm.
would wash one, pull the seats out of another one, and you'd be doing all this and you would know where you were at, but it looked like a mess, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you okay, the inside's done. I pulled the entire carpet. I had to pressure wash the entire carpet for this one. I had to extract it. I had to do this. I had to do that. And you know where you're at. And
Mm-hmm.
Brian's over here still on the same van. And I'm over here doing like a 60 something Corvette or something, just, you know,
Yeah.
piddling. You're not even doing
Fiddling
anything.
around.
Yeah. And you're over here just knocking out car after car. And that brings me to what's the worst car? Like, not the car you don't like to do. What's the worst car you've ever had to do where was something wrong with the car? Like, I know we've done flood cars. I know we've done just
Mhm.
destroyed cars. What's the worst car you ever remember doing?
Oh. Well, Brian's going to say it's a black Sunfire I pulled in there one day. That was the whole inside was covered in black mold,
Mm.
and he's like, "You got to put gloves on." I was like, "No, you don't have to put gloves on. We're gonna get it clean." So 5 hours later, though, I had it finished, but it was some of the probably the nastiest stuff you want to see. Plus, like some animals had got in the car and died in it. So you had to get like all this extra stuff out of it and hair and gum, old food in the trunk that had rotted. So I mean,
Mm.
it's been a test.
Yeah, I mean, and when you get into some of that stuff, the worst is like when you get into like old McDonald's food that's been in there for like 5 years and still hasn't rotted away. And then you're like,
Mm.
oh, I just had McDonald's for lunch. Yeah.
Man, ain't that great? I'm loving it.
Right?
Mm-mm.
So I think about all the things we've done, and everybody makes mistakes when they work on cars, right? Like I've burnt paint, I've done, I've messed up seats, I've done whatever. What's the
Yeah.
biggest mistake that you think you've ever made when working on a car?
Oh, biggest mistake was I turned the buffer on the edge when I very first couple of times I ever learned how to buff, and turned it on the side and turned it up as high as it could go, and burned the paint from one corner all the way to the tail light. Yep. So very good learning experience. It wasn't a good feeling because I didn't get paid and I had to wind up paying to get the car painted.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
And that is
yeah,
something like, even if you're by yourself, you have to have insurance. But when you're working at a place, they dock you. They like to
yeah.
take it out your paycheck, which that sucks too. So,
Oh yeah,
um, now you've worked everywhere. You've done car wash, you've done
yep,
detail, you've done
yep,
recon, you've done
yep,
private detail, you've done
yep,
auction
yep. And I
with
done tractor
having
trailers.
tractor trailers. Oh yeah, at the truck
Yeah.
wash. When you've
Mm-hmm.
done all these different types of things, when you think about it, what's the worst at all? Like, what's the hardest one to do?
Um, Probably the worst is probably I'm gonna say recon.
Mm-hmm.
Only because you got it and you don't know how many. I mean, there's gonna be you don't know if there's 50 to 100 people that are gonna look at the same car you done and be nitpicking.
Yeah.
And then then you got the, oh well, let me take it back down the hill and let them redo it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I already got paid to detail it, but now you're telling me to redo it, and now I'm not getting paid for it
Yeah. Yeah.
because my
Because flat
my
rate.
name was
Yeah,
attached to the
flagging
ticket.
hours.
Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. So then you're going back and probably working on a stain that you couldn't get out the first time again.
yeah.
So
And then they want you to like
yeah,
dye it, like spray paint it, and
yeah,
yeah. Um,
all that. Yeah.
which yeah, I understand all that. Me, one of the
Hmm.
areas that I was not a fan of was auctions. Um, just that assembly line of
Yeah.
cars, and you would only have one job. Like, I am buffing the passenger side and only the passenger side of
Oh
200
yeah.
cars, or
Mm,
I'm doing tires on the driver's side and that's it.
yep.
Like,
All day.
I just boom, 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 assembly line, car after car after car. Like, that to me is like the worst, because you get no break, and you get no reprieve from doing back to back to back to back. It's just over and over
Exactly.
and over. And I can't, I like, to me, like, that's like, if I had to be in like a hell for like detailing, that would be it right there.
That would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in the bad part is like it's nonstop all day. Take your little lunch break and come back and do the same thing all day. Like
And
there's
when they do
no
the lunch breaks, like, everybody goes to lunch together for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, and I mean it's the fastest 30 minutes of your life.
And it's right
And
back, and get back to exactly where you were. And yeah.
yep, boring.
I was Now, I've seen you in recon in the world. Rain, sleet, snow, it doesn't matter. We are knocking cars out because they got to get done, right?
Yep.
California, it rains, the entire world shuts down. It rained the other day. And I pulled a book out of your, well, I pulled it out of your playbook. I went outside and washed the car in the rain.
Smart man.
Technically, I'm not supposed to wash cars in my neighborhood because of the runoff and all these other things, but I didn't rinse it off. The rain
Hey,
rinsed it off for me.
rain.
So,
Glad you picked up something. See?
but I remember watching you, and I think I had just delivered a car to No Socks one time, and we're at the top of
Mm-hmm.
the hill, and we're chilling, and we're looking down, and you're outside of the wash bay in the middle of like a downpour, and you're washing a car, and you're claying it, like, as with the soap on it, like using a synthetic clay, taking care of it. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
and No Socks is looking at me. He's like, he's really washing a car. And I was like, yeah, he's trying to get the car done. He's like, it's raining. Like, it's things like that, little things that build on top of each other, that show that, like, your work ethic is second to none. There's nobody who will outwork you.
Not that I haven't met one yet, but I mean, I know there's someone probably in the world, but
I mean, I'm sure, like, yeah, they could hit you. They could get you one night. They could get you 2 nights. But are they going to beat you consistently every day of the year?
no, because
I've never
it's
seen it.
when we were at the other spot, I mean, I never took a day off.
No, no, you worked on
Never.
Christmas. You didn't, never, which is
Yeah,
crazy. I,
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
yeah, I can't even with that. But I
yeah.
remember we had just got to the spot, and we had just come back after, we had all been outsourced to a different,
Mm,
company, and then we all came back. And for the first like few days, like, we stayed there late, and I was there with you every night late. And then
mhm.
after like the third, fourth night, also the director was like, "Hey, you making too much money. You need to calm down." But after that third, fourth night, I was like, "Man, I'm tired." But I'm not gonna tell Rodney. But then I was like, "Cool. I'm gonna start checking out a little earlier each night,
Mhm.
because I was getting there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm staying there till 2 o'clock in the morning trying to keep up with you." And I was like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna last. I'm not. I can't do it."
Ain't cut out for that.
Mm.
Hey, Brian tried a couple times. I give him credit. He tried,
It's
but
always worth trying, but some people just
yeah,
can do it and some people can't.
like I told him, I said, when you get back, I'll have your cars done and my cars. So,
Yeah, because somebody got to do them, and they don't stop.
hey, no,
But
at
it,
all.
but it's one of these things, like, we've done, everything, buffed, polished out cars, high end cars, low end cars, ceramic
Mhm.
coatings. We've been doing ceramic for years and years and years. Is there
Yeah.
anything different with the ceramic you use now as opposed to where, like, we started? Is it the same stuff? Can you tell the difference right away, or what are your thoughts when you're picking up ceramic now?
That's a good one. I think it's easier to use now because that stuff like back in the day when we were using that little brown bottle of
Yeah.
wonderfulness. You couldn't leave it on no longer than what, a minute,
Yeah.
and then you had to hurry up, get it off, or if you didn't get it off in time, you had to sit and buff it, and now you can kind of you got a little leisure time. You put it on, and you ain't got to be like, oh my, life or death. I got to hurry up and get it off in 3-4 seconds. So I think the new
Yeah.
stuff is definitely better, a lot easier to use,
It is,
and
and it smells better because remember, it used to
smells
just
better.
be. Although you use gas and kerosene, so it's not
Okay,
like you
yeah, it
care.
doesn't, but yeah, the new stuff,
When
yeah,
you,
it's like wild cherry or strawberry
yeah.
or whatever you got going. So
Now, when
yeah,
you think about like all the standard products and things that we started with, like our
mm,
degreaser used to say like degreaser. It didn't even
yeah,
say like brand, like car shampoo said car shampoo. Like our
yep,
compound said compound until we got like 3M and then we got McGuire's when they and it's
Squires,
like
yep.
but before then we had like the beach sand that just said like cutting compound.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
like with all the advancements, when you have to do a car, which I know you don't want, you don't go looking for cars to do anymore, but if you have
At
to do a
all.
car, are you more likely to grab one of those older compounds or something newer that you've been working with recently?
Actually, the newer stuff, only because yeah, like of course the older stuff, it was you put it on, and I mean you had to work to
Yeah,
get it. So I mean now the other stuff like what's it I did a hood the other day with some angel wax.
like the resurrection stuff. Like they
Yeah,
they make some good
yeah,
products. Yeah.
yeah. So I did that. I did a hood with that. Turned out real good. Not a whole. I didn't even break a sweat doing it. So I felt pretty
Mhm.
good about that. But
There you
like
go.
anything else, you gotta. Oh man, I didn't did that. Now I gotta go back and I gotta. It's too many more steps with the old stuff.
Hmm.
But I mean, it like you said, it works. It's just a little more time consuming.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
because of everything that we've done and everything that we've been through, I've had a chance to make some good connections.
Hmm.
And I got to meet some guys who were rotary guys, and that's all they want to do. But they developed a new line, um, and I actually got a bottle. So this is a new brand. It's called Avant Garde, right? Real
Hmm.
simple bottle, engineered by
Yeah.
the best for the best, right? Smells like Versace cologne in
Ooh,
the bottle.
man.
Not it's very low dusting, but
Mm.
you know how like some products, if they have petroleum in them, like you go to wipe them off and it kind of like smears and like it's a
Smears.
pain.
Mm.
Easiest wipe off ever. One pass, everything comes right with
Oh
it.
wow.
Super. Like
Mm.
I just played it with Mia, no problems
Mm.
at all. Like her wipe off, she's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's already gone. Like super easy. So like the new technology, like it has a place.
Yeah. Very much so. Just like what is it? Like when you introduced me to the Beasley's line of stuff.
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know, but the put on and wipe off. I was like, then again,
The
it made me a
technology
believer.
matters. It really is helpful.
Yeah. It
I
actually
like
cuts your
it.
time.
It does,
Hmm.
and that's what it's all about because I don't want to work on cars for 12 hours at a time anymore. Like I don't want to work
No.
on one car and only work on one car for days. Like that just it doesn't sound fun to me anymore.
Yeah. It's the thrill is gone. As far as that, I mean, 12, 15 hours. Just like I told them, I said, I used to get to work at 6, leave at 2, 3 in the morning, get back at 6 or 7 the next morning. And
Hmm.
that was 7 days a week. And, okay, I knocked out 8 to 10 cars a day, but I mean, I worked because we didn't have no, easy to put on or easy to wipe off stuff. It's like, no, you're gonna earn your money for
All
this.
the things that you've had a chance to do. And I mean from where we started. Are
Mm,
there any people that you've met or places that you've been that you were like, man, I never thought I would do that or make it there?
pretty much everywhere we went. As far as I mean, I wasn't no big. I wasn't no big. Oh, jump on the plane and let's fly to wherever. I was like, I don't know about that one. But I mean, like Sarah at Root when we went to the factory over there. Um,
Yeah.
the Vegas thing when we were out there. That was
Hmm.
Um, other than that, I mean, pretty much everywhere we. I mean, I had a good time everywhere we went.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't around no real bad people. Everybody got along with everybody, and I thought it was a pretty good time.
Me too. Now SEMA just passed, and I like SEMA. I go to SEMA. I don't think we had a chance to go to SEMA together, but we got a
No,
chance to go to MTE, and I
yeah,
prefer MTE. Did you have fun at MTE? That was when we went to Orlando.
oh yeah, oh yeah, we had a good time. I mean, met a lot of like you said, up in the industry people, and met some
Hmm.
people that just were hey, come try our product out and tell us what you think, kind of deal. I'm like, okay, and I mean, just good time. Met a lot of people there and learned a few things actually. So
Yeah.
you know, it was a pretty good trip.
So as we've been talking, we're going over like everything that we've been through and all these things. We
Hmm.
started at car wash, like you detailed previously, but like together we started car washing, then detailing,
Mm,
then moving into show cars, and we've been through it
mm,
all. And then for the past
yeah.
few years we spent time at an OEM, where I ran things for the OEM and you represented the entire coast and you were the regional for it.
Mm,
And I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself,
yep.
and it led into a lot of the things that I really enjoyed to do, which is the training. And I don't know how much you enjoyed to do it, but you were really great at hands-on training and teaching. So as I move into my next role, um
Mm,
I wonder how you feel seeing like the progression of everything. Like, I'm going to now be the director of training for a detail training academy, um and I'm excited about it.
yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
I'm happy for you because I mean, you done came a long way from a Mitsubishi Outlander to where you at now. I mean, we were sitting there, hey Ken, this you wash from top to bottom, this and that and this. Now hey, you're putting that on wrong. So that I mean, that's incredible.
What happens when I want to bring people in, right? How quickly is Rodney going to jump on a plane to teach people out here in California, kind of thing?
Well, I don't mind being out there. It was a good time, so and plus I'm plane ready now, so that doesn't even affect me no more.
There you
So,
go. Which is, I
hmm
mean, which is great because, I mean, how often at the start did we ever think we were getting on planes? You know,
never,
yeah.
never, yeah. Because I give a shout out to Brian because he held my hand pretty much to the first couple of times. He's like, "I'm gonna show you, and then you're on your own." I was like, "Okay." So
This man went from never being on a plane to like diamond medallion member on Delta, like the first class every single flight. Like, that's how much
every
he's
flight,
flying. Um,
yep,
which is also why apparently nobody travels anymore because they spend so much money on in that company.
yeah, yeah. We kind of we burned it up,
Well, I
but
mean,
they can't say
at the
we didn't
time
work
it
when they
was
send us somewhere though.
there was no like, oh, you got to book 2 weeks in advance. Like, we had to get up and go to places. There were
Yeah,
times where
yeah.
like, hey Rodney, I need you to go here tonight or tomorrow, or it's like,
Hmm.
oh, all right. And there
Yeah,
were times they would call me and they'd be like, hey, I need you to go to Illinois like tonight. And it's like, whoa, okay.
yeah.
And
Pack your
then
bags and get up and go.
I remember going out there for like the first big push, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's going to be 20 cars, and there's going to be 100 cars." And we brought like a whole team up there. We had like 7 or 8 guys, and
Mm,
they had like 11 cars come through, and it's like,
we can do this in our sleep. This ain't
I
even
was
no
like,
work
y'all just go home. Me and Rodney can do this by ourselves. Like, what are we doing here?
all day.
But
That's cakewalk work.
yeah.
Hmm.
Although it was very interesting to see all these people get together from all over the country and see all these egos, right? Where everybody thinks they're the best in the industry, um, and you're an interesting case because like you'll be like, okay, I know I can do this and I'm good at it, but you're not the person who's like, man, I'm the best of the best and because you have this attitude where like it doesn't really matter to you like the pissing competition, right?
Nah, I'm a grown up. I mean, in the beginning, probably.
Yeah.
Once you get a little, it's like, I mean, who am I got to prove nothing, anything to? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know what I know. I know they know what they know. But if it comes down to hands on, then we'll see who knows what.
It's
Which,
always a good point. Like I love the idea of just lining it up with somebody. um
yeah.
I'm not. I know, and I've noticed this a lot more now. Like when
Hmm.
people are in those early stages of detail, they think they're the best. It's
Oh yeah.
usually after like a year or two. Now they've been
Yep.
detailing for a minute, and for like about 5 years, nobody can tell them anything. They're the best thing to ever happen. But then after that, like people start to see more of the world, and then they start to like settle down and get better. We had some people that we had working with us who were in that I'm the best ever kind of mentality, and they weren't. But
Yeah.
that comes with the experience, right?
Yep. It does. I mean, in the beginning, I probably thought I was better than what I actually was, and I worked with a couple people, and I found out I was okay.
Yeah.
And and then I had to get my skills up to somewhat compete with theirs, and then just keep on going. And
Yeah.
same with you is like you and Brian. When I hand you the buffer, and I was like, have at it. It's like, okay, well, man, he trusts me enough with a buffer on this paint, but
I
like I tell you,
remember.
you'll never learn if you don't touch it.
It's true, and I remember one of the times I did it. We were still in like the quartered headphones era, and my headphone got caught in that buffer, and it smacked me aside the stomach like 12 times, and I had welts,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, and then everybody's just laughing, and like I had to take it and be like, "Yep, that was my
Yep,
fault. I
yep.
was an idiot."
And, it happens. I
But
mean,
I miss I
I
miss all those times in the early days because it felt like even though we made some mistakes and it really helped propel us to where we are today.
yes, it did. Honestly,
Yeah.
because I mean, think about it. If we hadn't all the stuff we done then till now, I mean,
Hmm.
I don't even know if we'd have been where we were at now. Where we are to this today.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you, Brian, I mean, the whole gang of us is, like I said, it's look at all the people we trained back at the old spot.
Hmm.
Between the both of us, teaching them, and oh, I don't really want to learn how to buff, or I don't want to. Okay, you're gonna learn, and then look,
Yeah. Because I mean, we went from training one or two people at a time to a dozen people to we're teaching 30 plus people in one class. Like,
in a
and
class,
we're
yeah.
and we're doing multiple classes every quarter kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I mean, I think at this point we've probably trained hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and it feels good to know that we've had an impact on others. Um,
Yeah,
but to know that even though we won't carry on forever, maybe we touch
no,
somebody enough to where it'll help them.
yeah, yeah. You're right about that. I mean, it's got it. I mean, I ran into there's a couple people that Oh God, that dude Travis you used to work with that started out in the wash, but now he's the detailer at Toyota.
There you go.
So yeah, it carried on pretty good. So I mean, and like he said, that I love it. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, glad you sticking to it. And he's like, but you had a little faith in me, so I was like, well, I had a little faith in just about everybody that worked here. Just you know,
Sometimes it's
just don't.
reward and sometimes it's not, you know?
Yeah. I was gonna say hit or miss.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because, I think about it and I think about some of the amazing people I met, like Sarah, Everupez, genuine
Yeah.
people, like truly amazing, kind hearted. But I think about you, right? I've
Mm,
introduced you to people and they're scared to death immediately of you. They're
yeah.
they're just like, man, I don't know. You don't have to bring him back here next time, kind of like just by your look, right? And it's like
Hmm.
you are a gentle giant. I mean, obviously you can hold your own if anything ever comes down to it, but you're not just a mean individual. Like you can say
Yeah.
mean things, but we all do, right? Like
I mean,
that's not but it's one of those things where it's like you see good in people and you in your own way you push them to be better. So there are people that I'm internally grateful for in the world, not just in detailing but people in general. And um you know this all started from Mia. There was people she wanted to talk to, and of course
hmm
the people she wants to talk to are like famous and they're out there in the world and things like that. But it got me
yeah.
thinking. I was like, if I ever do this, who do I want to talk to? I want to highlight people who aren't known about, but in my mind my goal was always I have to talk to Rodney. um, Rodney, now he's
Hmm.
always working, he's always got something to do, but I have to get Rodney in here because I have to thank him, because I wouldn't be anywhere near what I am or made it to anywhere that I've made it if it wasn't for him. Um, and it, like I said, it started from a competitive nature because of your hard work and
Hmm.
how much effort that you put in. It didn't even look like you were breaking a sweat half the time, right? You're just working circles around people, crushing it. And my goal started in detailing to be better than you. Now,
Yeah, you didn't. I think you've surpassed that.
but it was one of those things where it's like my goal started to be better than you, to
Yeah.
that everybody was at a certain level where we worked, but
Hmm.
to be the best, obviously. And then
Of
once
course.
I felt at a certain level, I was like, all right, now I need to be the best in Virginia. Now I need to be the best. But then at once I got over that 5 year of like, oh, I think I'm the greatest thing ever, then I was like, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter anymore. But
Yeah.
now what matters to me is, can I teach the next generation as well as I was taught? And can I make the people who taught me proud?
Yeah. I know you can do it. I mean, you've been doing it for quite a while now. So I mean, and you
Well,
got more knowledge than anybody I know. So
well, I appreciate it. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, no matter what, though, I'm always going to be like, Ronnie, am I doing good? Am I doing it right? Like when we would teach classes, right? I'm teaching the
mm,
technical information, we're teaching it, but I'm like, Rodney, is it getting through to people? Are they understanding? What do you think? Kind of thing. Because regardless, even if I've gone
mm,
to a level that's above, I'm still always going to look
mm,
at you and be like, Rodney, what am I doing wrong? What can I do right? What
mm,
can I change? And how can I continue to get better? So I
mm,
want you to know that no matter what, the impact that you have had on my life and others as well, I can speak for
mm,
Brian and other people as well. I hope
mm,
they truly feel it, but I want you to know that it is genuine and you have done open doors for me in life that I never thought I would, see or reach. So I really want to thank you. And I don't think I'll ever be able to tell you how much you've
mm.
done for me. I mean, obviously, my life and we talk all the time,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things like, men as men don't ever say like, hey,
Yeah.
thank you. But
Yeah.
in some way, this is my way of saying thank you for everything. And I want you to know, like, you have been an inspiration, and I really appreciate you.
Well, Thank you, because I mean, you done opened a few doors for me as well that I know I would never been able to walk through. So, it's mutual respect on both ends. So
And I
I can't,
appreciate that. I
yeah.
mean, it's one of those things where like I'm gonna keep continuing to grow and do more, but at the same time,
Hmm.
like I said, I'm always gonna be like, Rodney, have I done enough? What else can I do? How can I teach more? And how can I help accelerate others, right? How can I get them on a
Hmm.
path that's not just detailing, right? How can I get them
Yeah,
to do better with their lives?
of course.
So,
Because I mean, like you said, it's detailing and life, all plays a big deal in that whole thing. So I know you can handle it though.
well, I appreciate
Hmm.
it. Look, I thank you so much for taking the time to carry on and talk with me. Obviously, we'll do this again.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope to do it again in the future and add a couple more people and just have a nice, fun talk between a bunch of us. Um,
oh yeah,
I'll let you know when I can get that set up. I'd like to get like Brian and maybe like Mario, and all of us just talk and kind of do like a round table and talk about things and our experiences.
oh yeah. That'll
But
be good.
sir, I appreciate you. I know you don't go to sleep early, so you'll probably be up for a few more hours. But if you need anything,
Oh yeah.
hit me up. I'll be around and I'll talk to you soon.
All right now.
All right.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
one,
Rodney.
Ken.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Bye.
Yep.